Have you ever felt truly alone? Not just for an hour or an evening, but for a prolonged period where the only voice you heard was the one inside your head. For many of us, solitude is a terrifying prospect. We fill our lives with noise, with people, with endless distractions, all to avoid being left alone with our thoughts. I used to be the same way. The idea of solitude felt like a punishment, a social failure. But then life handed me a situation where I had no choice but to face it. And what I discovered was that solitude wasn't the enemy I thought it was. It was a teacher. That period of my life began unexpectedly. It wasn't a planned retreat or a spiritual quest. It was just a series of events that led me to a quiet apartment in a new city where I knew no one. The first few days were brutal. The silence was deafening. I'd scroll through my phone, seeing friends laughing together, going to parties, living their vibrant lives. And there I was, in my empty room, feeling like the world had forgotten me. I tried everything to fill the void. I'd binged entire TV series in a day. I played video games until my eyes were sore. I even started talking to myself just to hear a voice. The loneliness was a heavy blanket, and I felt like I was suffocating under it. But something strange happens when you're forced to sit in silence for long enough. The initial panic starts to fade. The desperate need for external validation begins to quiet down. Slowly, very slowly, I started to listen. Not to the transmission vehicle, not to a podcast, but to myself. And what I heard was a lot. There were fears I hadn't acknowledged, dreams I had suppressed, and regrets I had buried deep down. It was like opening a dusty old chest in the attic. It was messy and a bit scary, but it was all mine. This was the first lesson solitude taught me. Without the constant input and opinions of others, you're forced to confront who you really are. What do you actually like? What do you believe in? What do you want out of life? Not what your parents, friends, or society expect of you. I started journaling not because someone told me to, but because I had so many thoughts swirling in my head that I needed to get them out. I wrote pages and pages, untangling the knots of my own mind. I realized that for years I had been living on autopilot, reacting to the world around me instead of intentionally creating my own path. Solitude hit the pause button. As I got more comfortable with being alone, I started noticing the world in a new way. I'd go for long walks without headphones, and for the first time I actually saw things, the way the sunlight filtered through the leaves of a tree, the intricate patterns of a spider's web, the genuine smiles exchanged between strangers. My senses felt heightened. I wasn't just hearing, I was listening. I wasn't just looking, I was observing. This was the second lesson. Presence. When you're not distracted by a conversation or a notification, you can fully immerse yourself in the present moment. There's a profound peace in that. I found beauty in the mundane, in the things I had previously rushed past without a second glance. This newfound presence started to fuel my creativity. With a quieter mind, ideas had room to breathe and grow. I started drawing again, something I hadn't done since I was a kid. I picked up an old guitar and began teaching myself chords from online videos. I wasn't trying to become a famous artist or a rock star. I was doing it for the pure joy of creation. There was no one to impress, no one to judge my clumsy first attempts. It was just me and the process. Solitude gave me the freedom to play, to experiment, to fail without shame. It taught me that creativity isn't about the final product. It's about the act of bringing something new into the world just for you. Of course, it wasn't always easy. There were still days when the loneliness would creep back in. Days when I yearned for a simple hug or a shared laugh. But the difference was, I no longer feared those feelings. I learned to acknowledge them, to sit with them, and to understand that they were just a part of the human experience. Solitude taught me resilience. It showed me that I could be my own source of comfort, that I had the strength within me to navigate my own emotional landscape. I learned that being alone and being lonely are two very different things. I could be alone and feel completely content, connected to myself and the world around me. After several months, my circumstances changed again. I started making friends, my social life began to fill up, and the period of intense solitude came to an end. But I was a different person. When I re-entered the social world, I did so with intention. I was a better friend because I was more present in my conversations. I was a better listener because I had learned to listen to myself. I chose to spend my time with people who genuinely nourished my soul, not just to fill a void. I valued my social connections more than ever, but I also fiercely protected my time alone. It was no longer a scary place. It was my sanctuary, a place to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with my true self. So, if you're facing a period of solitude right now, whether by choice or by circumstance, I want to encourage you, don't run from it, don't drown it out with noise, lean into it, see it not as an absence, but as an opportunity to get to know the most important person in your life. You listen to your inner voice, rediscover what makes you come alive. Find the beauty in the quiet moments. Yes, it might be uncomfortable at first, but on the other side of that discomfort is a deeper understanding of yourself and a more profound connection to the world. Solitude isn't a void to be filled. It's a space to be explored. It was the most unexpected teacher I ever had, and I am eternally grateful for the lessons it taught me. Thank you so much for watching and for sharing this time with me. If this story resonated with you, I'd love to hear about your own experiences with solitude in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more reflections on life. See you in the next one.